Hey, PK, thanks for the $31 and change. The super chat, man, before the stream started. Yeah, it was a newer, maybe not a newer song, but it's like a new remix. Channel 43 by deadmau5. Go Freak remix. Okay, so anyway, you'll hear me, we good? Hello, welcome traders to the stream, the Tuesday stream, where Bitcoin is down 1.6%, altcoins down more, most of them, not all of them. Ethereum breaking that critical $2,000 support and falling to a low, I think 1920, maybe even closer to 1900. Where you're just whipsawing, right? Bitcoin's literally the same price it was at July 8th, July 13th. Same price it was at pretty much July 2nd. Same price it was at June 26th, June 21st, June 10th, May 24th, May 19th. Same price it was at January 31st, January 22nd, 13th, okay, December 31st, oh my god, right? So stable asset being stable, I guess, stuck between 30K, 35K, can't break the midpoint of this this rectangle, excuse me, that has been in since the latter part of May 20th is when it began, really. So there is some hopium, right, to be coming down to $31,600. Maybe you get there, maybe not. But you're strategizing for a harmonic, maybe, dude. Not much of an edge at all right now. Not oversold. I mean, if you pivot here, maybe 4-hour bullish divergence develops on the MACD, but nah. And then you got yesterday was a bearish and golden candle technically. Today was a little bit of follow through. If you close right now, it'd be the lowest candle closed since June 26th. Yeah. So just not really, I mean, right? Previous discernible event on the daily was the lowest low of the sell-off, the correction. And very little follow through off any sort of bullish divergence you got. And still unable to breach the trend line, the RSI daily trend line that's been in existence since the beginning of the year. And that's it, man. 3 times. Pathetic, dude. Very bad. So once you break that, hey, things could probably change, but not until then. I wish there was more to talk about on your favorite asset. You go to Ethereum, it looks worse. I mean, it was kind of like, remember, we had the bullish shark, but it was so weak that it couldn't even go test the left shoulder June 29th, June 30th, excuse me. It was that weak, man. It started selling off, and once you got back down that support neckline, whatever you want to call it, it was just rough, man, and you fell through it, that 2000 level back from February 20th, below it, man. Making some momentum building, oversold, and there's still probably more downside. Well, even if you're talking about XABCDs, right? Talking about sharks, talking about Cybers, right? 786. 1840, and the 886 makes way more sense. 1782. I mean, that's probably where it'd be headed if the B point's been breached, right? So that's bad action magnet move behavior, where high probability areas if B is breached, then you normally go down to the 88% retrace. In this case, very much so, because a 50% retrace on B is what Scott Carney talks about in the book all the time, right? You broke it, so high probability zone where it goes from that breach to an 886. Which again, 1784, 1785. For now, I mean, hopefully, if it never gets down there, great. But we're just literally talking about, what happens in wave analysis. Okay, that's it. Dude, what's sort of worried about on LAC, dude? Yeah, down 4% today. Who cares? Do you see the chart? What was it up yesterday? Ridiculous amounts, and it looks great. It still looks amazing. For now, it has to break a certain resistance. Once it does that, see you buy. Lithium, talking in Patreon chat about lithium today and how big of a deal it is for the future, and that's why, like, fundamentally, I feel like I have some, more conviction on the LAC holds that I have right now. Anyway. Yeah, Nokia. Hey, what happened on Nokia? I mean, Nokia is just kind of like.
You see what happens, Larry?
Yes, we do. We see what happens when mega-sized harmonic patterns present themselves. And then supply lines get broken, not just supply lines, but horizontal line resistances get broken from history. Yeah, man, we can try to take a look at Nokia. Please, someone try to remind me You know, it just sometimes I forget and all that. So cool story, bro, on Ethereum and Bitcoin sucking today, like most alts, but there's one alt that we've been talking about, and you know it. Here it is. Should we queue up another one? I think we should.
See what happens, Larry?
Remember that time we identified a reaccumulation structure? We call it the 3 rising valleys. And then it broke out last night. It became confirmed as a pattern last night when it breached the 9.1 cent area. That was the confirmation line. Okay, you broke that. You went up to test all-time highs, and then boom, throughout the evening into the morning, it ran as high as, it got as high as 12.85 cents, an all-time high. Has recently, in this 4-hour candle here, back tested the old all-time high from June 15th, June 19th as support. Has held and is bouncing resoundingly. I mean, you're an hour 33 minutes away from a 4-hour bullish engulfing candle above everything that exists. So it looked good. You can call it whatever you want. You could just call it a money printer, because that's all it's been doing. 1.1 cent entry. Oh yeah. And then another entry around like what, 8 cents? Yep, another entry around 8 cents. It got as low as 7.7 cents, whatever. And that was it, dude. 8 cent entry from like, you know, there, and then like, oh, it got as high as up 60% in a week, 60% gains in a week off of just identifying a bullish structure, bullish accumulation structure. Yep, sure, who cares? Call it a scam. Great, that's what a stop loss is for. Scam dumps. You get stopped out, you move on with your day. I'm not here for the long term on Hex like a lot of other people are. Like, people cultishly believe in Hex. I don't care. I see structures on charts. I see back tests of old resistances as supports. I see tremendous amounts of accumulation on the weekly. I see things that I look at on any other chart indiscriminately. That's all I look for. And Hex has been showing over and over and over those same things the composite operator, you know, he paints on the chart for us to identify, to ride his coattails. That's it. Okay, man. So that's like kind of the highlight. I mean, the highlight of the entire day, especially crypto, dude. No matter what. You got a couple assets up somehow in the green. YFII, ONT, OXT, and HBAR. There's still really nothing to look at. Oh, you got CHR up 18%. Okay. It's a lower tier S coin. You got, oh, RLY. Rally to Tether is up 21%. Interesting. What? Oh, goodness gracious. Could have seen it. Just, you know, it's on my watch list. Maybe I missed it or something. I guess I did. But it was like this, man. I mean, maybe a bat. Almost too perfect. What the heck? Is that an 886? No, I didn't even make it. It was a 786. So it was kind of an informal structure, informal M-shaped formation, right, where it didn't meet the criteria for anything. It wasn't truly a bat. Wasn't truly a shark. Too perfect on A and C. So whatever, but was near kind of the bottom of a range, right? I mean, that's real. Where did it bounce though? It just kind of bounced. Not at any kind of form of support resistance, but nice to see an asset in such bearish conditions or just stagnant conditions do something. And then you had Chili's, what was it? CHR, also up 18%. Oh God. I don't know. I guess it was 100% retrace, maybe a bat, maybe a Garley failed, and it's just been running. I don't know, man. I don't really pay attention to some of these. Not all of them. So it's a nice day today. Low liquidity S coins. Anyway, back to reality. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin maybe soon approaching a level that might make a lot of sense. Might be crazy good, but you're just not quite there yet. S&P 500 hit all-time highs today, but then pulled back. Yep, it was at open. What a rally at the open, got as high as 43.92, and then whipsawed and sold off and got to 43.69. There's a gap to fill around 43.21, definitely seems possible. And maybe some divergence developing on the 4 hour, whatever, money per burr. It's above the 1.618. It just keeps going. These equities keep going, man. PepsiCo, MasterCard, Visa, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Adobe, Apple, Netflix, Morgan Stanley, CRM, Walmart, all having really good days today. Dow Jones also intraday, I think, hit all-time highs. No, not quite. Not quite. Just right at that $35,000 area, showing a little bit of 4 hour bearish divergence at an inflection point. So it will be interesting to see how the Dow Jones responds. You know, maybe comes down for a gap fill before it makes a higher low and runs again, and then breaks 35K. So definitely an area that is very important. You have not breached yet, and you're showing maybe just a smidge of 4 hour buyer exhaustion. So there could be a pullback here. Maybe not, dude. You know. NASDAQ intraday hit all-time highs, but did not close at all-time highs. Right? Did exactly what the S&P did. 14,800 at its highest point ever, and then closed at 14,677. And you know, any day, like, you get a sell-off, like, you don't make the highest high ever, you know, all of a sudden people are scared. And there is daily bearish divergence, and it's almost, look, completely matured. You have not seen negative momentum on the NASDAQ composite since May 21st, so like 3 weeks. And you think that's going to happen eventually again, or we get some pullbacks on some individual assets. Maybe earnings season is what does it, where you had that kicked off yesterday, right? I mean, what, JP Morgan, and I think maybe there was another one that reported for open today, and they killed it on earnings. They did really well, bank stocks, but you know, they didn't perform well on the news of good earnings. Are y'all here? Is everyone? Is this live? Is the stream going? I was having some issues before the stream started, so I'm late a little bit, but we're getting through it, man. So maybe some, you know, a pullback, maybe I think a back test of 14,176 coming at some point, dude. Like, it like almost always happens, dude. Almost always. Just to confirm that it's a support or not. And there's a gap fill right at 14,278. That's close enough to it. All right, we're good. We're good. So Dan Perez, Mr. Lodick. So Kriya. All right. So let's look at the Russell 2000 that also I think struggled today a little bit. Yep. Yeah, man. Dang. Like, whipsawing like crazy. I mean, what the heck's going on? You got bullish Marabazoos into bearish Marabazoos. I don't know, man. Maybe you've confirmed the top. It's really tough to say on the Russell 2000, this range-bound asset that is unable, has confirmed a top, you know, a shooting star reversal on June 25th, and that still prevails. That's not invalid until you get a candle close above it. So, I mean, after confirming, you think there's a lot of downside. You know, Russell 2000 could eventually see 2088. At the same time, it looks like there might be a demand line. You know, like a demand line, man. Yeah, perfect little, yeah, that's perfect, dude. So I think that's the short term.
Thank you.
Wally Saris, thank you for the 10. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching the stream, especially during times like this where volatility is plummeting in crypto, which, you know, isn't fun just because the sentiment dries up and the liquidity dries up and money goes elsewhere until a higher low gets put in on a significant time scale and there's an edge. Until news-driven catalysts actually have an effect on the price, which hasn't been happening. for El Salvador. Oh, nothing happened. Yep. So those are the 4 index funds we looked at. And you got the NASDAQ, you know, the QQQ, which is still like king, man. Look, it closed and it's... Yes, yes. Ooh, it's very close. Let me the scale in like crazy. All right, so it matched yesterday's close. If I scale in even more, oh my God. I can't even tell. I think it's literally the same. Wait. Why did you do like this? Okay. Closed yesterday, 362.42. Closed today, 3. So you matched yesterday's all-time high. Okay. So yes, technically all-time high is the same close. A little bit of bearish divergence maybe going on, and pullback could occur, of course. But not while these tech stocks keep running, man. Unreal. But the star of the show today was, I mean, at least for stonks, was Pepsi. That it's been above all-time highs, its previous all-time highs for a little bit, but today just gapped up. I think they had earnings, and I don't know if they increased their guidance, but they definitely have better projections for the year. Sugar water, carbonated sugar water, man. And upside's pretty good. I mean, have you even hit a 1272 yet? I don't think you have. It's very close. All right, so that target, short-term target, 154.51. Your gold mean ratio, 1.618, is 161.6. So the gold mean ratio is the gold mean ratio of a number. Wow. Man, I'm struggling over here. Good God. All right, Pepsi Cola, amazing. Hey, a trade setup, MasterCard. It did well, man. It's doing well. It's holding on. It held that 366 really well. You got another. I think ping patron. It's the beginning of the month. It's like if you're a new patron, hey, this is a great re-entry spot if you wanted to take a trade. And as you can see, we had a balance in it. It's a nice rally, and I think that's super strong when you have waves like this where you have an X and A and a B. A B is higher than X. And then you make a higher low on C. That's stupid strong. That's like canary stuff. Canary behavior. That's really strong. So I think there could be a lot of upside on MasterCard, especially if it could breach this 389.40, which it seems like it's approaching soon. So good news there. And then, you know, big brother, Visa. You know, just kind of looking at this a little differently. Like 1 and 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top, and you just got this heart line that you've been testing and failing to break, and it looks like you're trying to break that heart line. So much accumulation, so many nice higher lows, right, where eventually something's gonna give. Something's gonna give. This thing's gonna bust out. Yeah, it hit all-time highs today, of course, but it's down. After hours, it's pretty much where it opened today. Dang, down to 239.09.
Chilling and learning. Is there a cup and handle G daily? Thoughts on this possible structure identification, earnings and the coming split? Thanks.
General Electric, we'll look at it. TK, thanks for the 20 super chat. Much love, man. Support and stream. 100% crowdsourced. Let's go, dude. Beautiful accumulation. Visa. Wow. And of course, Microsoft's up there too. Just can't stop, won't stop for anyone. Got an all-time high today. Look at this, man. So 1.618. This is like textbook. Literally textbook. It's still at the areas where it could reverse, man. And you look at the QQQ, you look at the S&P 500. It's not over yet, but it did bullishly engulf today. So I'm just telling you, I get it, right? Bearish patterns, even the most textbook ones, in hyper bullish money printing conditions, they can be unreliable and they can oftentimes fail. And even if they do play out, they can definitely not hit the targets. All right, this is just a textbook structure. Okay, that is studied in textbooks, man. Okay, this would be like, we're at a 618 retrace, a 1.618, a 1.618. It's perfect, man. Literally, you can't make this up. But again, engulfing and hitting an all-time high today, and maybe you go up to that major 2.618, the 284.75 area. We'll see, man. Maybe it just goes to $300. But I'm just telling you, all we do is identify patterns, and it's at its reversal area. and it hasn't really reacted yet. So nice stuff. Same with Morgan Stanley, dude. I mean, like bank stocks, it's crazy. It's crazy. They don't care. They don't care about these bearish patterns developing. Okay, just in time. Well, that means you don't watch the stream much, so that's on you, dude. Okay, so another tech stock. It did not. It did. I'm sorry. Apple closed at an all-time high today. It closed at its highest level ever. It's never closed here before. This level, 145.64. So history was made, and now you have a confirmed breakout of the high from January 25th. First target 152.84. I would say second target's probably eventually 162. Now, yeah, you're gonna get a pullback eventually. I mean, if anything, you got probably this little. I think it's probably exceeded it, hasn't it? Nope. It's at the reaction reversal area. This is a crab pattern. Just a textbook little bearish crab pattern. 1.618. Here it is, chat. This is not an area to be going long. The area to be going long is long past. This is an area where profit taking could be had by bots or humans at a very critical inflection point at a 1.618, right? So, like, hey, man, if one's investing in it, don't worry about it. Let's see what this thing does on a breakout. But, like, this is like a 1.618, you know, what those go. So we got a lot of assets. Microsoft's at its 1.618. Apple's at its own. Morgan Stanley's at its own 1.618. So let's see what happens in the coming days and week or two. Okay. These are not like, it's time to go long on Apple literally right now after it just had a wave that took it from June 3rd to today. It's up almost 19% in 40 days. Not really value, that's definitely premium. So, sweet. All right, let's see what happens with the crab pattern. Will we get a reaction, or will we say, forget about it, man? Pump it to moon. We'll see. Remember, in bullish conditions, we're looking for these patterns, these structures to be violated. They get violated when they surge past their PCZs, their pattern completion zones, which is literally where it is right now. Let's see it get violated. I hope it does for the sake of everyone's retirement account, right? Imagine not having any exposure to Apple, right? Whether it be through the Qs, the NASDAQ, or the individual asset. Good God, man. All right. Got to check on this one too. That has been incredible, astounding. I mean, beyond perfect, okay? Right, Netflix. Remember the one this was identified back in mid-June? 88% retrace. Yeah, it was a failed. It was like just a deeper retrace. Gartley hit the 886. Okay, you're not gonna like convince me that since it surpassed the 786, there's no value at the 886. Nope, that's not gonna. And near the bottom of a trading range. No, and then it was at one bottom, then a confirmation low, higher low. That see, this is what S coins should be doing. Okay, this is what they should be doing. Remember, we had this one, and then you go and you look at something like DOT. Okay, you see this picture? This is the way price action should perform at PCZs on confirmation lows, and then in not so bullish conditions, the macro is not bullish, you get your reaction low, right? You get your reversal low, you get back above critical supports, but then you fail to reach new highs or even to go test the top of old ranges, and you break back below critical support. That is underperformance. That is suspect. That's bearish behavior. It's not bullish, right? Bearish that shows the macro is not bullish, and then the macro is very bullish. You have Netflix that is doing what it's supposed to. Twitter doing what an asset should do at pattern completion zones. Now this one was so strong, it never got a reversal low. It only got the reaction low, but it's up substantially since that pattern completion zone was achieved. Beautiful, dude. Approaching C, which probably is a target, $73. Oh yeah. Very weak, crypto, very weak market conditions right now. It's not very good, and it's terrible for the swing trader. It's really bad for the swing trader. I mean, unless you're talking about an asset like Hex that is just making consecutive higher highs, higher lows. I mean, imagine if Bitcoin looked the way the Hex chart looked. We'd be talking the same way about it. It's indiscriminate, man. And unfortunately, like almost every other coin that exists looks similar to Bitcoin or worse. I know, I mean, definitely worse because they all lost like literally like 90% of their value, where Bitcoin hasn't lost 90% of its value. From that bottom, I mean, just remember 1 year ago, Bitcoin was at like $9,500. It's currently at $32,500. Okay. So let's, we're looking at some winners, you know, looking at some losers, which is all crypto except X. So golds, there's hope, right? If you don't feel good about Bitcoin right now, you should feel okay about gold. Gold is setting up for all-time highs. This is how these things start. Okay, this is how it begins. Multi-year uptrend, $160 billion worth of gold bought by central banks over 6 years. They acquire their position, the neckline broke, this complex inverse head and shoulders, now ran up to all-time highs, had a buying climax, and it's retraced, mild, moderate retrace from the bottom. We're talking like 38%. Literally a 38% retrace. Okay, that's the beginning of the golden zone. You reversed there, you've rallied, that was the trade setup, you sold off, and here we are, above the critical 2011, 2012 levels. If you stay above this, you're going up to 1900 again, and then eventually you're gonna break it and go up to all-time highs. So, it's like people are depressed about Bitcoin, but they don't care about gold. So you should care about the technical analysis more than you care about Bitcoin, dude. You just should, like, because you're just gonna be like depressed and sad, or you know, until Bitcoin becomes bullish again. Because crypto is not gonna be bullish again until Bitcoin becomes bullish again. So look elsewhere. We're looking elsewhere right now, and it's being presented to you. Respect the technical analysis. Don't get married to one asset class. Yeah, Bitcoin can go to 24.5, fill a CME gap. Go to 46.5, fill a CME gap, right? That's where we are. No edge. Not really. I mean, you got a 3-day hopium, and you're in the middle of a range still. I mean, between 30K and 40K, you're 32,453. It's a lot of downside still. Private wins while Bitcoin was still churning. It was still making higher highs, higher lows, right? Everything ended. The correction started when Bitcoin created its first lower high of the entire bull run since it started from the COVID crash. That's when everything ended. So sure, yeah, when Bitcoin was still, you know, between like $50,000 and $60,000, sure, altcoins were performing well. But again, once Bitcoin made a lower high, it was over for everything. And it's been that way ever since, for the most part, except for Hex and Cream. Yeah, DK, we're gonna do it. Look, man, it's like you're the only person that has requested something, so I'm just trying to, like, you know, I just go to request right now. It's just gonna be like, well, that's it, bye. I mean, you know, I'm just trying to like have like a, you know, the stream looking at different asset classes, how they perform today, you know, and then we get to the requests. And look what happened on the US dollar, up 0.6% today. This is the weekly. The weekly is stupidly bullish. Stupidly bullish on the weekly, probably even more so on the monthly. And I mean, you're talking targets $97 eventually. It's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely perfect. This is how you would trade anything. Sell well at respect to the TA. Past 30 days. I mean, Bitcoin went up 25%, altcoins went up like 30 to 40%, but they're all down like 20% in 7 days. Most coins are now down 20% in a week. You know? And like, dude, if you're talking about like true swing trading and stuff, they're not like going high enough to hit like levels that are equitable for where your stock would be when you entered. You know, it's just not really great trading times. I mean, it's hard to argue with that for crypto. There are just other markets that are just better right now. Like it's certainly a trader's market, yes. But even still, so US dollar, way more upside if it's gonna keep going. Like if you stay above 91.50 long enough, dude, there's so much upside on the US dollar, on the weekly anyway. Daily, really nice, yep, and it's like bearish stuff is not performing well, right? There's bearish divergence on the 4 hour. There was a rising wedge. Look how it got violated, right? Like it was nothing. It was almost just like, oh, it wasn't perceived that way. It was just a channel, fine. So larger structure, and then hidden bullish divergence actually is performing well, right? That was identified. The hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour yesterday, and it's playing out now, right? So that means, okay, so the conditions are bullish for the US dollar. The bullish variables are playing out pretty well. The bearish variables are not playing out very well at all, right? Making a slightly higher high, third high, you sell off only to make a slightly higher low, and then hidden divergence develops and it plays out really well. Yeah, so that should tell you what's going on with the US dollar is like bullish conditions, bullish variables are becoming more reliable and are outperforming. Okay, so that's not really what you want to see on inflationary, or think assets that perform well to inflationary conditions. But we know that inflation is not going away. I mean, didn't you have you had a huge report today of inflation? Cost of living posts its biggest surge since 2008. You know, the Consumer Price Index shows as inflation spreads throughout the economy. Right, Consumer Price Index climbed 0.9% last month. The government said today the cost of used cars accounted for more than 1/3 of the increase, but prices for food, energy, clothing, plane tickets, and hotels also rose sharply. The increase easily exceeds forecasts. Ugh, y'all wait to tip when I'm reading news,
I watch
dude.
your stream every day. If I can't catch you live, I watch the replay.
Noise!
Can we take a look at the VIX, please? Thanks.
Jeffrey, thanks for the 25, dude. We'll look at the VIX, volatility index, and then Kenny Norman, thanks so much for watching the stream. Thanks for the contribution, supporting the stream. And hey, that's what VODs are for, right? Just in case you can't watch live, we got it up for you. So you can rewind and all that good stuff. Thank you, dude. Thank both of y'all, back to back. So again, the increase easily exceeded forecast. It almost doubled the forecast, right? The forecast was 0.5% advance, and it was 0.9% advance. Okay. The rate of inflation in the 12 months ended in June climbed 5.4% from 5%. The last time prices rose that fast was in 2008 when oil hit a record of $150 a barrel. All right. And if you want to see the chart, we'll do it, man. No problem. This is the chart. Right here. Right, here's the CPI. Right, this was July 2008, 5.6%, and here we are, 5.9% as of today, I guess, right? So it says 5.4, but it's higher actually, so closer to 6. Get wrecked, US dollar. It's Inflation is not going anywhere. They just want you to forget about it. For now. Okay, I guess we can get into these requests, man. And the total, I like totals. I don't really like totals, not today. Just bleeding out and testing. I mean, you could say spring back test is spring, but it's so weak, man. So weak. Once you break $1.3 trillion, you're going straight back down to 1.8 to 1.13 trillion again. God, it's sad. I mean, I get it. There's that 1.2 trillion right there locally from May 23rd, but dude, that's just so weak. If it can hold and start catching real bids here, I'm gonna be really impressed, because this is it. This is spring back test of spring behavior, but you're not doing anything on this spring. So just, you got to be cognizant of where we are on total. Very, very critical areas, okay? Back from, we're talking areas from February. All right, so what was the first one, man? Oh, I have no idea. Someone smarter than me would have to figure that out. I don't know what episode this is. It's like episode 2000 and change or something, dude. That's it. Thank you for the 2 super chat. All right, let's see here. First one for DK. Is this couple handle, man? I don't know about couple handle. I don't think there's any edge right now on GE. I think it's this is definitely an area where a pullback could occur. Right, I mean, this asset from the pattern completion zone, okay, of the bullish sharp pattern that was identified literally in May of last year. Yes. Do we need to find it just so you can see the amount of work that goes into scanning charts and what you get in the Patreon? Like, for real, dude? Just give me a second, all right? Yeah, dude, it was like...
THX, brother.
Hey, Benjamin Lopez, thanks for the Hex contribution. Very appropriate today. $6.66 or $66.66 would get you a bigger Hex coin in the jar. Beautiful emoji. I love that graphic, man. Thank you, dude. All right, so... Yeah, dude, you got GE posted May 27th, 2020. Making sure that's the right one. It is the one, dude. I think we even came back to it because it came back and double bottomed pretty much. It's beautiful, and seeing all the patrons having the shark. It's gorgeous, man. Yeah, dude. Right, so we're like down here. You know, this was in, again, May 27th or something. 2020. There he is, man. Let's go. Sorry, dude. Wrong button, dude.
Oh, would you look at that?
Whoa.
Benjamin Lopez tipped $66.66.
Thank you for the larger Hex contribution. My man. Thanks, dude. Hey, we're gonna tip today. You might as well tip 666 or something, right? Not in a satanic way. Just, it's Hex, right? Hex, 6. It just makes sense. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, that's like what can happen at these levels. You know, it came down and double bottomed. Even that was brought up, you know, a little bit earlier or a little bit later. With this was all identified in September 2020 before it really went on its run. But dude, that's what you get, right? You get your reaction low, and then you get your reversal low. It's like over and over and over again, man. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it was all this down here. It was all this like triple bottoming, making a higher low than the first low, accumulation. It was real nice, man. So you're asking, is it a cup with handle now? I don't think so. No, it's not a cup with handle. No rounding action. Cup with handles really, you want to have rounding action. You want to have like jagged ups and downs like a shark. So I just think it's at a point where it could reverse and have a common retrace, right? GE could just have a common retrace where it goes from the low point to high point. It could just have a mild retrace. We're talking like between 892 and 11 bucks. What if it comes down and back tests 1056, right? That very real possibility. It's just at a critical level, right? Look, an inflection point. You break through 1331, 1337 or whatever. I think you can go all the way up to 1850. Yeah. A lot of straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, okay? Above 1330. And it's kind of like really tough for an asset to do that when it just had a straight line up, you know, like goes from September 14th. It goes up 143% in 260 days. Normally, pullbacks occur, common retraces, they make higher lows, they consolidate, and then they run to test 1330 again and break and go to 1850. So, I don't know, I wouldn't say a cup with handle or anything, but a good start to what was an amazing opportunity, but it was last year, not right now. Okay. Okay, and then we got the VX for Jeffrey, man. That, you know, up almost 6% today. Saw that whipsawing, right? It was awesome, then it wasn't awesome. It started awesome, then it dumped, and then started recovering. You know, that's volatility, but it just keep making lower lows, lower highs. And really tough to be like anything traditional technical analysis. I mean, normally what happens, it eventually comes down to test like, you know, 10.6%. So, but I mean, dang, dude, there really is like a real support resistance around 1998. Look at that, 2000, 2002. This is a level where it's an inflection point from history. Where look, it's been resistance, 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 resistance before, support, support, support before. At least these levels up and down. So yeah, I mean, it's just something to think about, right, Jeffrey? I don't know though. It's again like this stuff is so reactive to things that occur on the market, right? Oh, we could be like, oh, is it a falling wedge, dude, or something? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if there's any formal structure going on right now. Okay. Feel like that? Nah, dude, it's nothing. So, hey, deep retrace. Congratulations on the deep retrace. You know, it's like what? From the low to the high, it's 95% retrace. So, again, dude, it's really tough applying traditional technical analysis to something like the VIX. Okay, that's it. What's up, Caleb, dude? Thanks for watching when you can, dude. Hey, you know, I know people can't watch live sometimes. Try to make it a convenient time for most people to watch around the world. But I understand, you know, it's not easy. There you go, Jeffrey, dude. I wish I could help more, but you know how it is, the VIX, man. Oh my god, bullish divergence. Lots of bullish divergence, I guess, on the MACD histogram. It's real. Yeah, sure. That was the last request. We've had 2 requests today. So it's like, good. Hey, it's Nokia that has broken the supply line, and can you be surprised? Up almost 10% today. It's up pretty much 10% after hours total. Like, you know, from the intraday and after hours trading. Supply line broken. This is it, man. You had your chance. Get wrecked if you didn't even pay attention to Nokia. I mean, if you're a patron, you knew all about Nokia for a long time. You did miss it. We did look at Hex like the third asset, but we can go back to it if you want to look at it. We'll just do like talk about education for Fibonacci and measured moves and stuff. I think it hit the measured move of the 3 rising valleys already, dude. It's wild.
What's up, man? Love tuning in and making an effort to learn something every day. Can we take a look at CLSK? Thanks, man.
Thanks, Bob, man. Well, yeah, if you don't make an effort to learn something every day, no one else will do it for you. So, and you'll never get ahead in the game of capitalism. That's the game we play in the West. You know, we're not communists yet. So acquire capital as much as you can, hoard it, dude. And then, you know, you acquire so much capital, then you can then affect other people's lives positively with that capital, right? So that's the game, man. Make money, lots of it, as much as you can. And you can do that by applying traditional technical analysis to assets that are showing like inverse head and shoulders. They're above critical levels. They go all the way back to when? Back to 1995. That was it, dude. That's how you knew it was bullish. Is crap. Nokia, the upside on this 866 eventually. I don't know. There's this one little peak here at 640. But there's just, you know, right there. There is some price action there a little. Yeah, there is. So that's probably what it's going to test. And it may not be like easy to break. If you break that, you then are going to 866. So it's beautiful, dude. It really is something to behold. This is an entire cycle reversal on a pattern this large. Started in 2012, ended in 2020. 8 years, dude. Colossal. Excellent, Greg T. Man. There you go, Brad, man. Yep. When it was making sense. It was a inverse head and shoulders within it. Inverse head and shoulders. Remember that time? It was gorgeous, undeniable. This is what's taught. This is what we teach, dude. This is the context of where the best harmonics are, and then it showed an inverse head and shoulders at the PCZ. That's it, man. Momentum shifting structure. And then now supply lines broken, horizontal lines broken. This is it, dude. It's like the Jesus, dude. It's perfect. So back to Hex. You know, people wanted to see Hex. It's like, how do you measure a move of 3 rising valleys? From the bottom, the first valley, to the top of the second peak. That is the measured move. You draw a horizontal line just right at that second peak. And then from the breakout, that's what we call the confirmation line. From the break of the confirmation line is where we measure. And there you have it. 100% measured move achieved and beyond when it hit 12.8 cents. It's perfect. There it is. And how do you get your second and third targets? From the height, that high from June 14th to the lowest low. Talking about 15 cents of 2.618 move extension. Third target, 18.8 cents of 3.618. Maybe a fourth target of the 4236, 20 cents. That's it, dude. That's where it's going if it's going to go back into price discovery mode after consolidating for the greater part of a month. Yep, about a month. Or breakout. There you have it, man. Could do things, could go to the outer fib extensions, which has already achieved the 1.618, and it has reversed there a couple times. Oh my god, why does no one even say anything about the audio being too loud? Because it seems way too loud. The stream is ruined. Wow. Daily chart as well. We don't even need to look at the daily. The daily was showing like hidden divergence, wasn't it? Hidden bullish divergence. Oh yes, sir, it was. It certainly was on both oscillators. Yep. This is what happens, Larry. Like, you can call it all the names you want, but when this thing that keeps performing well, like this, and it keeps showing bullish variables on multiple time scales, how can you like argue with that? You can't. If you truly care about true technical analysis and not like whatever you care about. I don't know. Okay, dude. Yeah, it was there. And look, your first level of positive momentum since June 20th. That's what we were talking about, dude. Last time we looked at the daily on stream. It's like just too good. It's like RSI, yeah, you're now overbought after a huge pump, you know, like, okay, it's gonna happen. You weren't overbought, right? It's up 31% today. Yeah, that happens. So it was stage was set. It really was. Gotta love it, dude. Paradise, that just means the technical analysis echoes. And that's what it should do. Technical analysis, being respected, should echo throughout the land. Just as it echoes in this room. I don't know, dude. I mean, we're no more requests. I mean, you know, that's it. Like, no one's. We got three requests today. You know, I think Cream's great. Cream's fine. Wow, dude. Really? That's it. That's the selling you're getting so far. That's all you can do. It's like a bullish 3 drives. Just kidding. Not really. But dang, I mean, you're at that 167. You can't break it. You keep making higher lows like this. Absorption of remaining supply could very well be what's occurring right now on Cream. Sellers, where are they? They're just not selling, dudes. And now somehow, locally, this asset is, without a doubt, for now until something changes, it's making classic bullish divergence. Again, it's local, it's not like major or anything, but it's really happening on the 4 hour. Unbelievable. And this is an asset that has been outperforming Bitcoin the macro like crazy. And I mean, look, a low and then like the same freaking low, and you have lower levels of negative momentum. And if you were gonna try it, here's the thing, it's inevitable. Like if you were like trying to be technical, be like, dude, that was a higher low, that can't be bullish divergence. Fine. Then it's bullish convergence on the MACD, and then it's indubitably hidden bullish divergence on the RSI. You cannot deny it. You can't deny some form of divergence. Whether you're talking the MACD, RSI, if you want to nitpick with me on a higher low or the same low, it doesn't matter. You can't win if you're going to nitpick. Pick your poison. Pick your inverse poison. Pick your impending price action, reversal, or continuation. Implied. Bullish engulfing in 47 minutes on the 4 hour.
No request. Just saying thanks for the work you put in, and I joined the annual Patreon a couple months ago, but I've been watching you since last year. I was doing great, but better learning from you.
Dang, Caleb, man, thanks so much for joining the annual and being a member of the community.
Please check H-bar and PHA. Viking Helmet in grocery store smiles. Great new home streams. Have you still be live this amazing crypto discount smile?
Also, Solta, I don't know, dude. I mean, like, is it a discount? I don't know, dude. Like, I'm still like, oh, Bitcoin's at 32K. That's unbelievable, dude. That's like unreal. Like, dollar cost averaged into Bitcoin from 3,000-ish dollars to 14K, like for 2.5 years, right? It didn't matter. And now it's at 32K. So it's just like, to me, it's all a dream. It's all like, I can't believe this is real. I can't believe what it was at and now what it is at. It's life changing for me and a lot of other people. But yeah, if you got into the market late, like if you only got in this year, yeah, it's kind of sucking for you for now, but if you just hang on, you know, like it could go down another, you know, $8,000. It could, you know, maybe. And just one would just keep dollar cost averaging into it. Eventually, if it just follows historical data, it'll gonna make a higher low than your previous low and roll again to the upside and eventually see 100K, you know. So I guess we can look at one of them. H-bar maybe. You're still a little off, right? 1843. But Caleb, dude, thank you, man. Joining the annual Patreon is like the single greatest way you can support this channel, right? And then it's like, hey, you can support the stream, but you're also getting like access to the Patreon for an entire year, and then you get 1 month free. Right? You're paying for 11 months. I mean, that's the way to do it. And then, like, because like when you do that, man, you're like, oh yeah, remember like Nokia was, and then like remember like GameStop, we identified the back test the spring last summer and it went up like thousands of percentage points. You like you keep that, right? And like the months are slow or whatever, but you're still a patron. You're still getting those amazing pings on stocks and other markets that are doing well or that are setting up for higher prices. And then you look back 3 months later and it's like, oh my God, this thing's up 100% in 3 months. What? Or more, right? You know, traditional markets. Hey, Arshawn, thank you so much for joining the Patreon right now. Please be sure you got to sync up the Patreon, the Discord. That's where all the trade setups, the education, and all the active community premium Discord is. You got to be in the Discord. If you have problems getting it synced up, just PM Brad in Discord. Okay, Arshawn, thank you, dude. Much love. Okay. Yeah, Cream to me is okay. Like, right, it could fall all the way down to like 150 and still be fine. As long as you just make a higher low than the previous discernible swing low from July 1st, I think you're good. I think you're in good shape. You start falling below that, yeah, then it starts getting like a little sketchy. Because you are certainly at an inflection point where a major reversal could occur. It just keeps testing. And every time it tests and buyers relent and sellers take over, it just ends up making higher lows than the previous lows, which is like textbook. I mean, that is like what that is absorption. That's accumulation, reaccumulation stuff. So, but it's all about this level back from September. Everything correlates to that because you break 167. I think you got a good chance of seeing 210 and then 272 and then 350. Hit the screen. Okay, so we're looking at CLSK, Clean Spark Incorporated, breaking below very, very critical level of support, at least a top, a peak. Now, you know, let's go to the daily. Yeah, it's a big deal, dude. I mean, you breaking that's not good. Real bad, dude. Price action correlation below $15 oftentimes goes to 771, so I'd be really careful here. Really, really careful. Where you broke it today for the first time since you fell below it, back in May. So that's, to me, not really good. The asset ran up, and now it's in a correction. Corrections can last months, and it's not even at a deep retrace. It's at like a 50% retrace right now. So I think there's more downside, especially if it falls below $15, and it did. So I would just be careful. That being like, I remember when we looked at Clean Spark, November of last year, double bottoming, look what it turned into. Like, it was like on the up and up, right? It wasn't on the, buying climax, double topped, and it's now correcting and bleeding out, right? Momentum is not on your side at all. That's certain. There's no momentum right now. No bullish momentum going on right now. Because the most recent discernible event on this chart is the lowest low of the correction from May 18th, right? Ran up, made a lower high. So I guess that's the most discernible event. So I honestly don't know how I really feel about this. Maybe if it catches some bids and holds, but to me right now, momentum's not good. And the retrace is not deep enough to say, oh, there's certain value here. It could go deeper and lower, and we know below 15 where it can go, where it's normally gone. Okay. There you go, Fab Bob. Thanks, man. What? No, I didn't miss it. It was just you were next. Fob had tipped before you, so he was the next one, dude. So now we would go to H bar. I get what you mean. You meant like that's the missing contribution amount. Thank you, dude. I appreciate the respect you're showing there of that. So yeah, H bar, man, kind of similar to Clean Spark, huh? Where it's correcting lower highs, lower lows, but yeah, something did happen. Or something is in the midst of attempting to happen, where it's trying to double bottom, trying to bullishly engulf in 40 minutes on the daily, trying to show some bullish evidence, I guess, now. And yeah, it's finally gotten to a level that kind of makes sense where maybe a reversal short term could happen, February 20th high. So, I don't know. I think momentum's certainly not on your side right now, right? The momentum is bearish. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Short-term relief, kind of, but, one bottom and a second bottom. And it's, this trend is not your friend right now. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Yeah, maybe it bottoms out here. But at the same time, maybe it runs up, just makes another lower high and dumps again, right? I mean, you want to be longing assets that are showing momentum's on your side. The trend is your friend. Trend has not been your friend on this asset, I think, truly since April of this year, right? Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and maybe double bottoming now. But look how it's just below the 200 moving average. This is one where I know without a doubt, like at least some of the other ones are made those deep 90% retraces. H-bar hadn't done that yet. Remember, momentum was on your side. Momentum was on your side. Higher highs, higher lows, double bottoming in an uptrend, right? Bullish harmonic in an uptrend.
China to me, China.
Right, you're in a downtrend.
Why is this a song? 0.02.
Why is this a song?
00 LTC.
Yeah, dude, I don't know why it was this song. Polly Walnuts. Can't believe he was spilling all the beans to Johnny Sack in the penitentiary, in jail, in the prison. Okay. What do you know? What do you say, Bobby Bacalieri, man? Thanks at 320. Like one. Okay, so yeah, H-bar gross. Sure, maybe double bottoming, but again, double bottom, trying to double bottom like in a downtrend versus trying to double bottom in an uptrend. You notice the difference? There was a shark, and it performed miserably, as discussed yesterday before we broke down, and but then there's more downside. There's more downside on Ethereum. I think it was like 18 or 17. Hold on. Yeah, if you're going to talk about a shark, there's a new shark in development. Or cyber. Close. The 886. I mean, downside, I think 1776. Change. All right. Oh yeah, so that's like, remember the bad action magnet move was broken, the B was broken, so high probability areas of downside to the 886, according to Scott Carney's research. And the 886, lines up with the B to C 1.618, beautiful confluence right there. It's 1776, and it's America's birthday, so even more cool. Vitalik Buterin is an American citizen, so all these things line up. I'm just kidding, but whatever, dude. I'm just coughing, man. I'm having trouble. Okay, dude. I've been live 1 hour, 8 minutes. Just another slow stream. This is something you can literally expect. One should not expect anything trading, but one should expect slow streams. Low chat engagement, not many requests. We do market analysis of commodities or equities, cryptocurrencies, DXY. We do the rounds and we check up on everything and look at some notable winners and losers and then call it a day. All right. That's all I can do because y'all kind of drive this show. You have to understand that. Y'all, over time, it evolved that way, where the viewers, the audience has driven this show many times. Like, that's the way it goes. So, So that was it, yeah. I think we were supposed to look at something else, but I forgot what it was. Something. Oh yeah, it was lack. Yeah, it's down 6% today. Who cares? It pumped yesterday. It's fine. Like once, dude, if it can break $17, it's gone, dude. It's going to $24. The upside on LAC, if it can ever break $17, because it hasn't yet, so you can't expect it to. But 40 to 41% upside if it can break $17 on LAC. Right, there was bullish divergence identified, and it kind of mimicked what happened in March. Pretty crazy. Back to the drink troll days. Speaking of drink troll, I talked to Gavin today a little bit. He's still out there. He's still around. He's busy. And there's my last sip of Irwin coffee. Sometimes y'all even drive the show drunk. Yeah, exactly. Right? I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. It's the driven market. You want to give me lit sometimes, y'all can give me lit. But it's just a Tuesday, dude, right? Just a Tuesday. That we call these potential complex inverse head and shoulders pot. Complex. When you have more than one shoulder, they become CIHS, not just IHS. Okay, it's real. They're real. Okay. Normally, like you have a low, and then the lower low, and then the lowest low. Then you have a higher low, and then a slightly higher low after that. And it's really symmetrical. I mean, gold. Gold was a perfect example of a complex inverse head and shoulders. Way back, 20. Here, I'll show you. This is a textbook. Complex inverse head and shoulders. Right here. Right here, dude. That was it. It was beautiful. Right? Low, same low, lower low, lower low, lowest low. Then a higher low. Then another higher low. Like more than one shoulder. Beautiful, dude. And then the neckline was very real, slightly slanted. Once you broke it right there, June 12th, you were gone, dude. Sold it. That's crazy, dude. If I was killing Hex today, is it, dude? Well, you know, there's gonna be anomalies out there. Hard to scan them all, dude. Oh. But forget the inverse complex head and shoulders. Look at the potential standard head and shoulders and a multi-year uptrend and a 300-day correction. This is it, dude. This is it. You got a little capital stored away. Might be better holding gold than holding US dollars. Maybe, dude. But I mean, the DXY actually looks really good on the weekly, monthly, too. So, I don't know. Inflation, though, is very real. And I don't know how you can ignore inflation right now. It's so bad and it's getting worse and worse. And I don't know when it's going to stop. All right, dude. Did what I could. Let's look at B-ball, then I'll be out of here. Get out of y'all's way. Out of y'all's day and way. You know, you got B-ball up 0.12% today. It doesn't even look like it, does it? It's just been dumping, man. From the day, June 11th, it's down 35% in a month. Volatility. And the lower this goes, the more of a snooze fest this market becomes, and the harder it becomes to get real price action to move the market to especially profit taking levels for trades and stuff. What's up, Tiger Food? Yeah, man, we can look at it.
Tucker Food tip $25. Hey Mitch, can we revisit IQ, the stock we looked at a while back?
Yep.
Thank you, my man.
Yeah, it got wrecked with the macro, the Chinese macro getting wrecked, and it's still making a higher low for now. Up 0.15% today, thank you for the 20 low. Up 0.38% after hours. I don't really care about this asset until it gets back above 1436 and or 1540. But yeah, I mean, you could probably try to plot a little cipher shark, you know, what's going on down. I mean, this is kind of crazy, you know, it's like, what? That's right, 786. That'd be a cipher. That'd be a literal bullish cipher pattern and its pattern completion zone reacting a little bit. You know, you got greater part of 4 days of sideways action. That's a reaction. Now let's see what happens. You know, what could be going on? You get more higher lows on the relative strength index on the daily. So let's see how this may. Dude, you imagine if IQ does this? if it pulls it off. Could you imagine if IQ pulled off a bullish cipher right here at 1316, and this is what ushered in the entire reversal? I don't like it below 1436 to 1540, but this is here and it exists. So I mean, like, it's there. Let's just monitor it, you know, keep our eye on it. I felt really good about it springing back, testing the spring, but then China, Chinese Communist Party doing really whacked out things, you know, with DD or whatever. And all the Chinese assets took plunges. All of them, every single one of them got wrecked together collectively because US investors and Western investors don't want to mess with. They're sending messages to the Chinese Communist Party. It's like, oh, you want to do that? Fine, we're going to sell off all your crappy companies. That's what they're doing. So let's see what happens here below critical, very critical support. I mean, just hit all-time lows May 12th and hit its second lowest level ever yesterday. Right? So we'll see. Thank you, Tucky. Good God, man. Maybe tomorrow I won't be in such rough shape. But that's it, dude. You know, look across the markets, doing what we do every day. And there are opportunities out there. Beautiful, amazing opportunities. Some played out today, some playing out tomorrow, some played out a couple days ago, a few days ago. But they're not all cryptos. Most of them aren't cryptos right now based on the macro and what's happening. So yeah, man, in the end, Hex respected the TA. Certainly respected it. It was trade setup, dude. Trade setup on Hex, completed, at least one target hit. One of the 3 targets. God, I'm never gonna find it, man. Really did. Yeah, okay. Alright, so on Hex.
TA respected.
There you go, dude. So, I'll just be back. Thanks for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. Till next time. Respect the T. Hey.
Gentlemen in the mix.